Vanguards are recognized for their resilience and influence on the battlefield. They shield their allies and disrupt the opposition's strategies. These heroes are versatile, enduring through prolonged combat and altering the course of the game. In Marvel Rivals, selecting the ideal Vanguard to suit your playstyle is crucial. Today, we'll take an in-depth look at Vanguards, ranking them from least to most powerful. We'll explore each Vanguard's advantages, drawbacks, and their position in the competitive scene. To rank among the top, Vanguards require essential abilities. They must possess solid defenses to absorb significant damage. Additionally, they need to excel in various in-game scenarios, effortlessly transitioning between defense and offense. Whether you're a casual gamer or a competitive player, understanding which Vanguard aligns with your playstyle can be the key to triumph or failure. So, sit back, unwind, and let's get into it. Starting off at number 9, we have Captain America. Captain America is one of the more intricate tanks to master and can often feel underwhelming if you're not familiar with his skill set. His attack chain varies, with a shield toss becoming available if you land the second hit of the combo. This requires you to fully commit to landing punches and throwing them in order to inflict meaningful damage. Cap is renowned for his shield-centric abilities, providing strong defense for your team. He can raise his shield to deflect incoming projectiles, and also has a shield throw that bounces, dealing respectable damage. But here's the problem. Captain America can occasionally seem a bit lackluster, particularly in high-level gameplay. His damage output is solid, but it doesn't measure up to the stronger Vanguards higher on the list. His ultimate lacks the excitement of many others, as it has him dash around, providing movement and health buffs while allowing you to land a series of punches, which, while effective, doesn't feel particularly satisfying to execute. And although he's dependable, his capacity to make a significant impact on the game often pales in comparison to those who offer stronger offensive or utility-focused abilities. Coming in at number 8, we've got Venom. Venom is somewhat of a mixed package. He offers excellent sustain thanks to his symbiotic resistance. Don't let his position on this list discourage you from picking him up. Venom can web swing and pounce on enemies, dealing damage and sending them flying. The web swing is a key part of his kit, enabling him to easily maneuver in and out of combat, which is vital for aggressive plays. His symbiotic resistance provides 100 bonus health plus 100% of missing health as bonus health, essentially giving him a second health bar when used strategically, allowing you the opportunity to retreat and recover. However, the problem with Venom is that his damage output doesn't quite measure up to other Vanguards, and he doesn't offer as much in terms of utility or crowd control. He's a reliable pick for specific strategies, though. His ultimate deals damage based on the enemy's remaining health, while also granting additional bonus health, giving Venom remarkable sustain during fights. This makes him a great option for players who enjoy staying in the thick of the action. At number 7, we have Penny Parker. Penny offers something unique with her exceptional defensive abilities and arguably overpowered damage skills like her mines. She shines in defense, whether it's preventing a payload from moving or holding a control point, largely due to her bionic spider nest. Penny can also conceal her mines within the web, making them invisible to enemies, and each mine deals 100 damage. With 4 charges of these mines, she can easily set up deadly traps. She's a blast to play, particularly for players who enjoy versatility and strategic plays. However, Penny's mobility can be challenging to control, and she may struggle in high-pressure scenarios. While her abilities are enjoyable to use, where she runs around placing cyberwebs and either attacking enemies or laying mines, she lacks the survivability or sheer power to compete with the top-tier Vanguards. Her effectiveness largely hinges on how well you manage her mobility and positioning. Penny's ultimate, though, covers a wide area and deals significant damage, further enhancing her potential as a Vanguard. Coming in at number 6, we have Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. The Thing is the epitome of resilience and raw strength. As a tank, he has an immense amount of health and is built to absorb damage like no other. His solid rock form grants him high durability, making him a near unstoppable force on the battlefield. His powerful attacks can shatter enemy defenses, and his ultimate ability, Clobber in Time, allows him to smash through multiple enemies with devastating force, dealing massive damage while further boosting his survivability. However, Thing's primary weakness lies in his lack of ranged abilities. His combat style is heavily reliant on close range, which can be a double-edged sword depending on positioning. While his durability is top tier, Thing can be slow and vulnerable to ranged DPS if not played carefully. His lack of mobility also makes him susceptible to crowd control effects, which can hinder his ability to stay in the thick of things. But when played well, Thing is a true powerhouse, an impenetrable wall that can turn the tide of any battle. His high health pool and devastating melee damage make him a top-tier pick for any team looking for a tank who can both dish out and absorb serious damage. Coming in at number 5, we've got Groot. Groot is a powerhouse when it comes to soaking up damage. With the highest base health among all Vanguards, he boasts impressive defensive abilities and can effectively control enemy movement. Groot can build walls, including 2 Thorn Lash and 1 Ironwood, which block incoming damage and restrict enemy movement. Additionally, Thorn Lash deals 60 damage per hit to nearby enemies it strikes, which is quite substantial. The Ironwood Wall grants bonus health to Groot whenever he or his teammates deal damage near it, up to 250 bonus health. This makes him a formidable option for crowd control. But here's the catch. While Groot can absorb an incredible amount of damage, but he lacks the offensive firepower to make a major impact on the enemy team. His damage output is relatively low, and his mobility is not as strong as some other Vanguards. However, his ultimate is a game changer. It gathers enemies together and locks them in place, setting up a perfect opportunity for either you or your teammates to finish them off. At number 4, we have Magneto. Magneto's power lies in his superior defensive abilities, exceptional area control, and enemy suppression. He can provide shields to both himself and his teammates, temporarily blocking incoming damage while also charging his projectile. Once charged, the projectile can knock back enemies, though it's still a relatively weak attack. While Magneto doesn't deal massive damage, he does dish out a solid amount. His ultimate is a powerful AoE attack that delivers significant damage when it lands. So it's not all drawbacks for Magneto. Magneto is a formidable defensive Vanguard, but his overall impact doesn't quite stack up to the raw damage output or versatility of the top 3. His focus is mainly on defense, using a shield to block incoming projectiles and attacks. While the shield can absorb a reasonable amount of damage, it doesn't hold up as well as other tanks. His ability to control the battlefield is strong, but when compared to others, he falls just a bit short in terms of offensive presence. Coming in at number 3, we have Bruce Banner, aka Hulk. Hulk is a true powerhouse in close combat with a massive damage output. However, his sustain isn't as high as some other dive tanks. He does have a shield, and his ultimate transforms him into Monster Hulk, making him nearly unstoppable, replenishing his health and boosting his damage. The downside is that if the enemy team focuses him down, or if he doesn't receive consistent healing, he'll revert back to Bruce Banner, losing his strength and effectiveness. But Hulk's not without his flaws. He's heavily dependent on healing to maintain his effectiveness, and his limited mobility can make him an easy target if you're not cautious. That being said, Hulk's damage output is incredibly high, allowing him to take down enemies much more efficiently than many other tanks. When played well, Hulk is an absolute beast who can carry your team through the toughest battles. He can be a strong pick, but it requires several factors to go in your favor for him to truly shine. At number 2, we have Thor. Thor is one of the most iconic Vanguards, excelling as a high-damage tank that thrives when diving into the enemy team, though he does require careful meter management. His hammer-based attacks can inflict tremendous damage, and you get 3 hammer charges that either fill over time or can be charged by landing hits with his Lightning Realm attack. Thor relies on close-range combat to be most effective, as his primary attack is melee, unless you activate Awakening Rune, which grants him lightning projectiles. Thor also has a handy dash to close the gap and the ability to throw his hammer at range, making him versatile in positioning. Thor excels at getting up close to the enemy and causing havoc, but he does have some weaknesses. The main downside is his hammer charge ability, which grants bonus health when used. While you can recharge them quickly with Lightning Realm, its limited range means you risk dealing with the 5-second cooldown per charge if you miss, which can feel a bit too long in practice. However, if you can land those skill shots, Thor can truly dominate the battlefield. His massive AoE ultimate is also a great asset, easily clearing objectives, making him a valuable pick when played well. Finally, at number 1, we have Doctor Strange, the ultimate Vanguard, without question. He's an incredible defender in Marvel Rivals and can dish out a solid amount of damage as well. His primary defense is a shield that blocks incoming damage, boasting a health pool of 800 and a quick recovery speed. This shield is large, making it especially effective at negating powerful ultimates from heroes like Iron Man and Hela, particularly when Doctor Strange uses his Ascension ability to take to the air and avoid them. Doctor Strange truly changes the game with his portals. He can move swiftly and catch enemies off guard, disrupting their plans while providing his team with increased mobility and the ability to react more quickly. Doctor Strange brings everything you could want in a Vanguard: defense, utility, and game-changing abilities. He perfectly blends tanking, crowd control, and strategic gameplay. On top of his solid defense, his ultimate, Eye of Agamotto, knocks enemies' souls out of their bodies, temporarily stunning them and giving your team the chance to take them out. This makes him, without a doubt, the best Vanguard in the game. So there you have it, the ranked list of all the Vanguards in Marvel Rivals. From Captain America at the bottom to Doctor Strange at the top, each Vanguard has their strengths and weaknesses, and the right choice really depends on your playstyle. Now I want to hear from you. Which Vanguard do you think is the best? Do you agree with this ranking, or do you think some deserve a higher position? Let me know in the comments below.